Today we are going to explore food security in India, what it means, why it matters, and how systems like procurement and distribution try to keep every household fed. We'll analyze availability, access, and affordability, and the institutions that support them. First, I'll outline what we'll cover. A clear set of definitions, the reasons and the people most affected by food insecurity, different types of hunger, and the role of the Green Revolution, the national system of buffer stocks and the public distribution system, and finally, reforms, ongoing challenges, and alternative responses. Let's start with a simple working definition. Food security exists when everyone always has reliable access to enough, safe, nutritious food they can afford. Poor households are most vulnerable when production or supply is disrupted, which is why government action and systems like the PDS matter so much in preventing shortages and protecting livelihoods. Food security rests on three pillars. Availability means sufficient production, imports, and national stocks. Accessibility means food is within reach for every person, physically and socially. Affordability, or the capacity to buy, ensures that people can actually obtain the quality food they need. A country is truly food secure only when all three are met consistently. There are several forces that undermine food security. Rapid population growth increases demand. Changes in land use, for example, shifting land toward cash crops, can reduce cereal area. Market failures such as hoarding and black marketing distort supply and prices. And natural calamities can suddenly disrupt production and distribution. When a calamity hits, the chain reaction is clear. Production falls, supply tightens, prices spike, and scarcity can lead to starvation. Famine is the extreme outcome. Widespread deaths from hunger and disease, often compounded by the use of contaminated food or water. Historical cases from regions like Kalahandi and Kashipur in Odisha remind us how severe this can be. Certain groups are consistently more food insecure. In rural areas, landless laborers, artisans, and those without productive assets are vulnerable. In urban areas, casual laborers with irregular work face high risk. Socially marginalized groups, including many SC, ST, and OBC communities, are affected disproportionately, and women and children make up a large share of the food insecure population. Hunger itself can be seasonal or chronic. Seasonal hunger follows agricultural cycles, hitting rural households during lean months between harvests. Chronic hunger reflects persistently inadequate diets driven by very low incomes and an inability to buy enough food. This is common among the poorest rural and urban households alike. A turning point in India's food story was the Green Revolution in the late 1960s, when high-yielding wheat and rice varieties were introduced. Areas like Punjab and Haryana recorded dramatic productivity gains, and those increases helped India avoid the large-scale famines that had occurred earlier in the century. India's national food security system brings together a set of institutions and policies designed to ensure availability, access, and affordability. The two central pillars are the public distribution system, which supplies subsidized food to the poor, and government buffer stocks, which stabilize supplies and prices in times of shortage. Buffer stocks are government-held reserves of staple grains, mainly wheat and rice, procured by agencies like the Food Corporation of India. The idea is simple. Buy surplus from farmers in good years, store it safely, and move those stocks to deficit areas when production falls, issuing them at controlled prices to protect consumers. The public distribution system is the mechanism that delivers subsidized food to households. Food procured by the FCI is channeled through a network of ration shops or fair price shops, millions of outlets across the country, supplying staples as well as items like sugar and kerosene. The PDS has roots in responses to earlier famines and was strengthened over time through targeted programs. Over the years, the PDS has been reformed to reach more remote and vulnerable populations. Targeting by poverty categories introduced differential pricing for BPL and APL households, and schemes like Antyodaya Anna Yojana focus on the poorest of the poor. The National Food Security Act went further by recognizing a legal right to food for defined shares of the rural and urban population. The PDS has important achievements, but also persistent problems. On the positive side, it has helped stabilize prices, avert large-scale hunger, and provide income support to farmers through procurement. On the downside, high storage costs and wastage, regional imbalances in procurement, corruption and leakages, and errors in targeting continue to reduce its effectiveness. Non-state actors also play a role. Cooperatives like Amul, Mother Dairy, and regional producer groups support supply chains for milk and vegetables, while NGOs often run grain banks and local distribution initiatives. To recap, food security depends on availability, accessibility, and affordability, and it relies heavily on buffer stocks and an effective PDS. But continuous reform is needed to reduce leakages and improve targeting. If you'd like to follow up, there are downloadable resources, practice tests, and notes available through the mobile apps on the Play Store and the iOS App Store to help you revise these concepts and track current policy changes.